Previously, on the Fallen.
Look, we need to find a way into the station, no matter what.
Spider-Man. Are you really comparing yourself to Spider-Man?
I'll stop when you stop calling me Harpy.
Help!
Please kill me.
If you are going to do it, then do it.
No! You do not get to do this!
I can't do this. It's all too much. Everything is my fault. Beth, Abbott, Rob, Stuart, Eddie. It's all my fault.
No, it's not. It's on all of us. Beth and Abbott, they were an accident. We didn't expect those things to come. It's not your fault.
They failed to notice the large horde of the dead which had escaped their confines of the station and slowly weaved their way through the graveyard of cars toward the new lovebirds. The shopping centre was large and the empty shops filled the men with a sense of unease. Perhaps it was the sound of the army of the dead that moved in the lower levels of the mall. Their footsteps echoed off the marble as they jogged through the centre looking for an entrance to the train station. A sign hung loosely from the ceiling of the entrance of the mall saying that the station entrance was at the back of the building, but that was downstairs, and there was no way they were going to be able to reach the doorway. The two men stopped and peered over the barrier, looking down onto the bobbing heads of the creatures that shambled below, bumping into each other.
Well, that went as well as expected. What do you suppose he meant by brothers and sisters?
Nothing. The guy's a fucking psycho. Don't you worry about it, dude.
We need to get the bag back. It has the map to all of the supplies. My ammo, meds, everything. Fuck!
You're a real fucking nutty sometime. Why the hell you no keep the map on you? Why's he no in your
I
bag?
don't know. Didn't want to get it wet.
For God's sake.
What?
You know Pete's gonna kill you.
Nah, he loves me. He'll let me off.
If you say so, you better pray to God they've not looked through the bag yet. We've no idea where they've even gone.
If I was a religious psycho living in a destroyed apocalyptic Edinburgh, where would I hide out?
Somewhere they would be protected and had supplies at their fingertips. Somewhere already set up. Religious. A church somewhere?
Fuck, we are idiots. Grey Fairs. There was a checkpoint there. One of the darkest graveyards in the city. Of course they would be there.
That's handy. Isn't that where Pete and Danny were meant to be going? Maybe we should be telling them to watch themselves up there.
Aye, near a bad idea.
Alpha to Charlie. Alpha to Charlie. Come in, Charlie. Alpha to Charlie. Come in, Charlie.
Alpha to Charlie. Come in, Charlie.
Roach, is that you? Oh, thank God. We've been trying to get hold of you, mate. Where have you been?
Oh, signal must have been shite. Is everything okay?
No. Mission's a total failure. Harper's dead. And so is Abba. We're going to push on and head to Greyfriars. Are you guys okay?
No, we've had our own shit going on. We were robbed by a group of mental religious freaks that looked like the extras from the Warriors. They stole the bag with the map and all the ammo and meds.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Are you guys hurt? How's Stevenson?
He's fine. Pissed off. Just like me, but fine. The shopping centre is overrun. We can't stay long. They're heading towards us. We're going to head to Graveyards. We will meet up with you there. Hey. How's Danny?
A little shaken up, but she's okay. Look, we need to assume they have looked at that map. It's not a great situation, but it's the one that we find ourselves in, so please be on your guard. We don't know what lies ahead.
Affirmative. Pete. Take care.
You too, lads. Over and out.
Can't believe Harpy's gone. You were a good soldier. Albert, be so bothered about him. Guy was a prick.
Aye, but he didn't deserve to die.
Nah, but he was still a prick.
Aye, I guess. Oh, fuck. Heads up.
A group of the dead had reached the top of the stairs and were shambling along the gangway towards the pair, past the empty shops, and the stench was becoming overwhelming. Stephenson jumped to his feet and removed a large blade from his belt, still stained with the blood from his previous kill. A group of the 5 infected reached them. One grabbed for Stephenson and one for Roach. As the men struggled with them, Stephenson was able to overpower the strength of the large chef that was trying to chomp into his neck, and he plunged his blade into the cranium as blood spurted out. More blood sprayed out as he removed the blade. Another grabbed for Stephenson, not giving him a chance to recover. Roach disposed of the creature attacking him, the young lad dressed in a torn tracksuit and a baseball cap. Once Roach had disposed of him, he ran towards the door to find it blocked by a large bin.
Motherfuckers!
What's up?
They've blocked the fucking door! Cover me a second.
Confused, the pair pushed against it, but the bin did not move. The door did not shift. Roach crouched down and started to push with all of his might against the large green bin that had been pushed against the door, and eventually it started to move, but the dead were getting closer. Stephenson looked at the crowd of the dead that were shambling towards them, bouncing off the glass barriers overlooking the main shopping centre. He looked back at Roach, who was now halfway through the hole in the glass, his large legs crawling through the gap. Suddenly, a sharp bolt of pain exploded through Roach's leg as his calf scraped along a large shard of glass, tearing the flesh, exposing muscle, blood pouring out onto the floor. Roach finally pulled his leg out to a cry of agony that erupted from him.
Fuck! Oh, fuck! That hurt! Oh. Pass me your bag. Come on!
Roach stumbled out of the door, limping on his now blood-soaked leg, pain coursing through his body like someone was plucking every single nerve in his leg like a harp. He turned to see the large black holdall lunge out of the door. Then nothing. No Stephenson. Roach peered through the glass, and then saw his mammoth of a friend staring back at him.
Stephenson! Come on, man!
I can't, man.
Come on, you're not that fat. We have to go!
No, you don't understand. I
Why
can't
are
go
you
with
being
you.
over dramatic? Come on!
For fuck's sake, Roach!
Stephenson held up his arm to reveal a large bite mark on his forearm, blood pouring down the skin.
Just go. I'll hold him off. I'll give you time to get away.
Mate. I'm so sorry. Nah, fuck this. Come with me. We will find. We'll sort something.
Roach, you know as well as I do, I don't stand a chance. Just let me do something heroic, eh?
Love you, man.
I love you too, brother. Look after Pete for me, eh? He needs someone to look out for him. And take care of wee Cal. He needs a father figure in his life, eh?
You got it, buddy.
Stephenson for a second looked at the blood on the floor and the cluster of grotesque corpses that were now upon him. He made a decision. A decision that would save his friend, but a decision that would be his last.
Right, you're a Scottish soldier car. Up by your fucking boots, lad. He's ended my life. I'll make you choke on the fucking rest of it.
The faces of the infected, rotten, torn and bloodied, filled his vision, a sight etched into his brain as one of the last things he would see. His run turned into a slow stumble as he could move no more, and the group enveloped him, their hands tearing and pulling at his clothes, reaching for his soft skin. One of the creatures found traction, its fingers piercing the skin, blood oozing out of the open wound as it began pulling at any organs it could find. Intestines were pulled out and handed around the group. His arms and legs were torn from their sockets, the skin stretching and tearing at the sound of ripping flesh, erupted over the chorus of wailing. One of the infected, a woman wearing a long, torn, blood-covered leopard print dress, sunk her blackened teeth into his face, chewing and pulling at his cheek. A large chunk of meat came away from her mouth. Thick black blood gushed out, covering the floor. Stephenson's screams slowly faded as they were drowned out by the growls and wet munching of the feeding dead. From the hole he could hear a muffled voice, then the sound of the dead erupt like a cheering crowd at a concert. He peered through the hole to see Stephenson's large frame get engulfed by the wall of infected, ripping, tearing, biting and chewing at his friend. His heart shattered into 1,000 pieces as the cries of his dying friend, his brother, disappeared with a loud gargle over the moans and growls of his attackers. Roach fell to the ground and let out a mammoth scream, his voice bouncing off the empty buildings that surrounded him, tears streaming down his face, getting entangled into his scruffy ginger beard. After an hour of sitting with his large back resting against the door, listening to the dead feast, the gargantuan man scrambled to his feet, ignoring the pain in his leg, and limped to the road, falling against the carcass of a car, looking down Princess Street towards the gardens. He paused and squinted as he noticed thick black smoke soar into the sky. His chest tightened as he watched the ebony plume.
No.
With great difficulty he limped back towards the edge of Princess Street and Waverly Bridge and looked over the gardens and could see the smoke more clearly coming from Atlantis. Roach limped closer, trying to go as fast as he could, but the weight of the bag and his injured leg was weighing him down. He got onto the bridge and noticed a large group of infected clawing their way through the cars towards Coburn Street, as if following a meal, their screams filling the air. Roach was able to get past without any of them noticing and stumbled down the stairs into the gardens. Then he saw the magnitude of the situation. Fire and smoke bellowed from within the walls of Atlantis. The crackling of burning wood and creaking metal filled the air as he approached, and the smell of burnt meat was palpable. As he reached the gate, which was now wide open, his stomach lurched in his mouth as he saw from what he could make out 20 infected shambling in the main entrance area, stepping over sheets of corrugated metal and bodies. The fences had fallen, and from where he was standing he could see the smoke was coming from the main building, the sergeant's office. He couldn't stay long, as the dead had turned to notice him standing in the gateway, and like bloodhounds picked up his scent, and they were coming for him, coming for another meal. The Fallen, an Eerie Earth production, written and directed by Kieran Begg, starring Andrew Lodge as Roach, Jay Platt as Stephenson, and Saxon Davids as Pete Kirkman. Thank you so much for listening, and remember to follow Eerie Earth on all social media, and be sure to head over to eerieearth.com for more information on The Fallen. Thanks very much for listening.